confession of how I developed this presentation. Of course, many of you know I'm still teaching at the Ateneo. I'm always with young people, so one of the things that I've been using recently is I've been using AI to develop some of my materials. Para naman, kasi yung mga estudyante ko, obvious na gumagamit sila ng AI. Kasi parang lahat sila magaling mag-English. Hindi pa na-encounter yung word na yan. So, there's this new program that develops images. I saw some of it. I said, sige nga, make an image of the light of the world. Ito yung una. Yan, gumawa siya. Inspiring, animation. Sabi ko, sige nga, isa pa. Yung kailangan merong parang sunset. Gumawa siya. Diba? Sabi ko, include me in the picture. Doon nagka-problema. Sabi ko, paano yung nagawa yun? Tapos, gumagawa ako. Sabi ko, ito. Ano siya? Ito yung pinakahuli. Pero hindi ko lang gamitin ito. Ito yung pinakahuli. Camping na merong maliit na ilaw. Siguro limited pa yung AI ko. But anyway, my presentation, I decided to use the name of the community as the basis of my presentation. And I will use the main passage in the scriptures that talks about the light of the world, the call Jesus gives to all disciples as light of the world. And I will use it as a way of describing our current situation in the world in terms of Christianity, evangelization, and even in our context here in Mindanao and in Asia. Later on, watch out. I asked AI to help me say, what are the challenges in the world today for Christianity? The name, Light of the World, to your community during its transition time when you were trying to expand and grow as a community, and I don't know, the Lord led you to that name, the Light of the World. And I believe it's a good way of understanding who you are vis-a-vis the challenges that we're facing as Christians today. Now, let me read to you the Bible passage that I guess is very familiar to all of you. And what I will do is many of my insights would come from this passage. I explain ko lang the passage na to and add some insights. Because this passage is very significant. Now, let me at least give you a context. Now, oftentimes in the Bible, it will be very helpful for you when you're reading the scriptures to read it knowing the context of the author. That's helpful. Because we know that at some point, Jesus said this to his disciples. Tama, di ba? But of course, you all know that at some point, Matthew, the author of the Gospel, collected stories, wrote ideas, put together a Gospel, which was written for a group of Christians later. And that was the time when they wrote this Gospel, and they were reminding each other of what Jesus told them. And so this particular Gospel, I think you should hear it knowing that it was written for a group of Christians under intense persecution and having some second thoughts if they should continue. That's a good background. Now, with that in mind, let's now read this. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Now, it's easy to read this passage if you know that when you announce to people, "Uy, I'm a Christian," papalakpakan kayo. But you all know that to this particular gospel being read to them or explained to them were a group of Christians who were afraid to be identified as Christians. Magtataas ka ba ng kamay? Kunyari, alam mo na yung leader mo, kamamatay lang. Bakit siya namatay? Because he's a Christian. Would you raise up your hand and say, dali, dumating bigla yung mga Roman leaders sa village nyo. Alam nyo, kakamatay lang ni Peter. Sabi ng Roman leader, who are the other Christians in the group? Most likely, you would not raise your hand. Most likely, you would try to hide yourself. But actually, that is not what happened. They did not hide. Later on, you will discover that the early Christians who might have been afraid to go out and tell people that they still believe in Jesus Christ, many of them did not hide. They actually followed this advice. You are the light of the world, and you cannot be hidden. Now, you might say, hindi na relevant sa atin ngayon yan. Because look at Christianity, and nowadays, we are more tolerant, we love each other, and we do not need to be afraid of being Christians today. The persecution of Christians is not happening. But of course, it is still happening in different parts of the world. But you might say, but there are places like the Philippines and like Asia. Hindi naman ganun kalala. Even removing that idea of Christianity being not persecuted, another perspective that we need to take is we might not be experiencing physical or real persecution in terms of dying for the faith. But there's another form that we need to be careful of. And what's that? The values of Christianity might not be rejected by putting people to death. But there is a growing concern that the whole world is beginning to reject the values of Christianity and beginning to slowly tell people, is the Christian religion the right way to live? We might not be persecuted like the early Christians of the Gospel of Matthew or the community of Matthew, but according to Rod Dreher, he said, and this is a book entitled Benedict Option, which he's writing because this author went all over the world and seeing if that's the case, he says, if we want to survive as Christians, we have to return to the roots of our faith, both in thought and in practice. We are going to have to learn habits of the heart forgotten by believers in the West. Kasi nga sa tingin nila, sa West mawawala na yung religion. We are going to have to change our lives and our approach to life in radical ways. In short, we are going to have a church without compromise, no matter what the cost. What is this saying? It's saying that to be a Christian today and for Christianity to survive, lukewarm Christianity cannot work. You must be a deep believer of the Christian faith in such a way that you cannot be just a Sunday Christian. Na yung mga Kristiyano ka pala, pagka sa loob ka ng simbahan, is saying that this Christianity must be something that affects the way you live 24/7. Now, let me use an imagery to tell you why this is an important image to take. Dito sa Cagayan, nauso dati, ano nyo yung rafting? Yung, isa ako doon sa mga, uy, rafting, saya-saya yan. And our first time, nag-rafting kami sa Cagayan, di ba meron yung rapids? Di ba rapids? Tapos biglang kakalma. Biglang parang dadandahan, no? And there was something, my experience of being in a river that has a current is so different from swimming in a swimming pool. So anyway, nung nag-slow down na, yung bangka namin, nung una na parang rough, yung ano namin, yung parang guide, ayaw kami patalunin. Siguro kasi malakas yung current. Nung nawala na yung current, nung tahimik na, sabi nung guide, oh, pwede na kayo mag-swimming. Ako naman, pwede na mag-swimming. So, tumalong kagad ako, magtalong ko. Saya-saya dito. Saya-saya dito. And then I started swimming. Of course, I was swimming more easily with the current. Laway lang ako. Slow-slow ako. Saya dito. Layo na maabot ko. May napansin ko, lumalayo na ako dun sa mga brothers. Mga brothers, they went to a shallow part. Doon sila nag-i-enjoy. Ako naman, nagsusip akong gano'n. Finally, bigla ako sinabihan, bro, balik ka na! By that time, I realized, oh, babalik na ako. When I started swimming against the current, wala naman akong nakikita eh. Hindi ko naman napapansin eh. I was not in the rapids. It was just a quiet river. But of course, it was a river that still had a current. And when I started swimming back, lahat ng lakas ko as a swimmer, ginamit ko para makabalik lang ng 10 meters. May lang yun para sa akin. By the time bumalik ako, may lang sabi ng mga brothers, napagod ka? Hindi! Hindi ako napagod. Relax na relax ako. Sabi ko sa minsan, kamuti ako nalulod. Hindi ako niluluwan. Pinagawag din na ako. Now, I'm saying that is because we have to be aware in what kind of river are we swimming in as Christians? Are we living during a time when we are actually just living with the current? All others believe the same thing that we believe in. No? Lahat ng society, ay, Kristiyano ka, ang galing yan. Ano yung values mo? Ay, okay yan. Ang ganda ng values mo. And so, it's so easy when we are living in a time when we are swimming with the current. Because everybody else is moving in the same direction. But brothers and sisters, everything changes when we begin to open our eyes, to begin to notice, wow, this river actually has a current. And we are swimming against it. Now, the plans that we have that were given to us is very inspiring. To become missionaries, to go out there and evangelize, to expand. But it will be very good for us to be aware that it depends on what river and we are swimming in. Now, according to AI, ito lang, mabilis na na ito. I-share ko lang sa inyo. Ito. Maliit lang. Sabi dito, tanong ko lang naman eh. Prompt ko lang. What should we consider as Christians in the next 50 years? And how do we grow? Ito, worldwide question ito. Ang sinabi niya, alam niyo mga priority, growth is in Asia and also Africa. And ito ang suggestion niya, methodology. investment, high priority in focusing on indigenous Christian movements. That's us. And providing theological training. Ito pa, meron pa rito sa bandang huli. Nakita niyo yan? Now, lipat tayo. Sama nila rito. So, sinasabi lang niya, oh sige, patuloy niyo yung ginagawa ninyo. And here, I asked specifically, marami ako mga research dyan, yung para sa Mindanao lang. Ito makita ko. I think it's this one. Here. Thank you. Ito, Mindanao context. Yan o, tinatanong ko kayo. Mindanao itself is the microcosm of Asia's religious diversity and the significant Muslim population alongside the Christian majority. Therefore, fostering interreligious dialogue and experience. So, it means that you are playing a significant role. And here, kasi natin yan. That's just a snapshot. Now let's go back to the passage. And here, I will begin just giving you some insights on if Asia and Mindanao are significant places for Christianity. At least we need to be aware that we are doing God's work, but we need to open our eyes that we are swimming against the current. Para naman hindi kayo ma-surprise na bakit ang hirap? Will be divided in a few parts. First, we will analyze the world and the people in the house that needs to see the light. What's our context? And you see the world and you see the house that needs the light, but you discover, oh ma, if that's the world and that's the house, kailangan niya ng ilaw. It needs the light. And we should be that light. And of course, it's also very clear that it is not us who will be discovered by people. When they meet us, they won't see us as the light. They will see God and His glory. So, let's begin. Quickly lang to, quickly. The world and those in the house. Akala natin, pwede na tayo mag-sitting pretty sa Pilipinas because we're a Catholic country. Right? But one of the eye-openers that many sometimes Christian leaders and Catholic leaders in the Philippines do not appreciate is actually the Catholic faith is in some way declining. In the 1990s, going to Mass every Sunday was at 60%. The latest, it's now going down to 38%. You might say, Raul, punong-puno naman ang mga simbahan. Minsan pa nga ang init, kaya nga pinapa-aircon. Right? Ang init kasi. Now, let me just tell you, in Europe, there was a time that the statistics was like this. Konti lang naman ang baba. But in the Western world, definitely, the 60% became 38% and eventually became negligible. So if we are not careful, that might happen to us. Ito, morality. I don't want to give you with many statistics, but in a prominent Catholic University. I won't even mention what university. Only 45% of our student population identify as heterosexual. Christian morality, Christian values, what is right and wrong is not anymore that clear. Our young people today, there is a demographics, and the Philippines is considered a young demographics. But what's happening? There is a growing trend of young people not wanting to get married. Ito pa, those who want to get married don't want kids. Kasi daw yung mga kids, kawawa naman if they grow in this very challenging world. That's a common mentality. Family movement. We form people to build families. If you are thinking that you are swimming in a river that with moving in the same direction, you will be surprised. Bakit we are teaching this to a group of young people and they're saying, why? That's old-fashioned. And I just told them that marriage is beautiful. And they're saying that is old-fashioned. You might be surprised if you are thinking that you are swimming with the current. No. More and more, our community and Christians, if we want to build our values, we have to be aware we will slowly swim against the current. Ito, it's a analysis of St. John Paul II when he was writing in the height of the coming of the millennium in 2000. He wrote this document analyzing what was up ahead. This was 25 years ago. And John Paul was warning us, Christians, about what was up ahead. He said, even in countries evangelized many centuries ago, the reality of a Christian society, which amidst all the frailties which have always marked human life, measured itself explicitly on gospel values, is now gone. He's saying that Christianity, which was so present in many countries, it will disappear. That was 25 years ago. And I think the warning is also something that we need to hear here as Filipinos. Now, if that is the world, and that is the house we live in, who are we? If you have made a decision to follow Christ in this kind of world and in this kind of house, who are you? Well, Jesus tells you, you are the light of the world. And the values that you've chosen to live out, the values that you have given yourself to as Christians, let's just assume all of us are highly convinced that we want to be Christians, we want to give our lives totally to Christ. Then Jesus tells you, in this house, in this world, you are the light. And you cannot be hidden. You cannot be hidden. Give an example. One time, in my department, may isa akong co-teacher. Nagkaroon siya ng mga love issues nuts. Alam naman niya na lay brother ako. Abay sa akin humingi ng advice. Sabi niya, Brother Raul, I don't know if you can help me, but my boyfriend is like this. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. and I don't know what's happening with our relationship. Busy ako. And nasa isip ko, I was preparing for the talk for Foundations Course 2 on marriage and family life. So, dahil busy ako, binigyan ko siya ng summary. Sabi ko, alam mo, tama. You will be confused because, relationships have a purpose. And if you have a purpose, and you know where you're going, and you want to build something, that person should also be committed to the same commitments that you're committed to. Tapos bigyan ko siya ng mga advice, yung mga binibigay natin sa preparation for marriage, although hindi ako prepare for marriage. Binigyan ko lang. Pagkabigay ko, sabi niya sa akin, grabe, where did you get that insight? Siyempre, medyo yumabang naman ako. Alam ko lang yan. No, but I'm just giving you one example. And maybe you could give examples of moments in your life when you are just trying your best to live faithfully our way of life in community. And have you ever experienced people telling you, oh, ang ganda naman yan. Ang ganda naman yan. Yeah, because if we are faithful to who we are, we cannot be hidden. And we should not be hidden. The church does not grow by mass movement. It moves forward one soul at a time, as each individual catches the fire of belief from another and is grafted into the body of Christ. The importance is not found in numbers, but in the intensity of the flame, as the apostles understand. I look around here in this crowd. I know some of you here who used to be students in CYA and are now married, established your family. Many of you, when you were young, heard statements like, kay Kristo buong buhay, habang buhay, patay kung patay. Ang masakit dito, marami sa inyo naniwala and you gave your life to Christ as a young person. And you never look back. You never look back. And look at what you have done with your life. Tama, the writer of this book that is trying to encourage Christians to be aware that we are going up against the stream is telling us numbers won't work. What would work are people, men and women, who have given themselves totally to Jesus Christ. Yung totoo talaga yung motto ng CYA, kay Kristo, buong buhay, habang buhay. All aspects of life. Kasi dahil itong business ko, Lord, hindi ka kasama dyan. Business ito eh. But many of the CYA members, during their time when they were studying, probably heard something like this. O ikaw mag-aral kang mabuti. Bakit ka bumabagsak? Meron bang Kristiyanong bumabagsak? Sinabi sa akin yung leader ko, hindi pwede bumagsak ang Kristiyano? Hindi naman yan. Ibig sabihin lang, if you're a Christian, you are responsible, and you do what's right, and you are honest, and you give yourself totally to what you do. Sige. Nauto naman ako. Naniwala naman ako. For the first time, umayos yung grades ko. If I became a businessman, and some of my friends who heard the same thing when we were students, many of them are businessmen today. And they're applying the same thing. Kay Kristo, buong buhay. Hindi lang pang Sunday. there's something about that kind of Christianity. That's the kind of Christianity we need. Not found in numbers, but in intensity. Brothers and sisters, the call to mission is very important. But we also need to remember that we are disciples first. And we should be brothers and sisters of each other's first. Totally. Because it is not in the numbers, but it's in the intensity of our commitment that will make our mission work. Ito naman para sa mga leaders. In an apostolic time, institutions need to become more self-conscious about their mission. He's talking about our time. Apostolic meaning we need to be missionaries when the world is going against us. More self-conscious about their mission, their aims, and their inner spirit. Those who lead and inhabit them need to know with greater clarity what they are doing, why they are doing it, and what the likely consequences of taking certain kinds of decisions will be, and how the inner culture of the institutions is best maintained against the tide. Leaders here in this community and future leaders, according to the advice of this book, your main goal is to be clear of who we are. Your main goal is to make sure that our brothers and sisters are disciples, have made a commitment to the community, and we are living our way of life well. If that is something that is clear to you, you won't be distracted by many other things. This is important. When the tide is against us, trying to push us back, the clearer our direction, the better. If we don't have any clear direction, the moment we are swept, we don't even notice that we are swept. Kasi, hindi naman natin alam na gusto natin pumunta doon. Bakit tayo pumunta doon? Mahirap pumunta doon to maintain a district, to have a way of life, to meet together as men's and women's group, to check on our pastoral leaders, checking their pastoral. Kailangan ba natin gawin yan? But that is part of the clarity of what we're doing. We need to be aware of that. So, I'm about to end here. The greater apostolic task of our time is to gain a genuine conversion of mind and vision. If you were to ask, what's the challenge ahead? The challenge ahead is this: Christianity is being swept away. We are going against the current. Society is telling us, don't go that way. But Christianity is saying, no, this is our way. This is our way. And this is also very clear. As we go that way against the current, many others would also see, wait a minute, I'd like to join that. That's the direction where I'm going. That is the direction where I'm going. We don't see this normally, but the beauty of community life often comes out when things are difficult. May isang brother, so, tapos tayo namin, retreat namin. So, medyo parang masyadong significant yung retreat, men's retreat namin sa Ligaya. Parang walang nangyari masyado. No? So, parang kami, parang okay, good retreat. But then one brother stood up. Sabi niya, brothers, bago lang matapos yung retreat, bigla, nasunog yung buong bahay niya. No? And he said, no, brothers, gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo na grabe, totoo pala na magkakapatid tayo. And he started narrating. The moment there was a fire, ang unang pumunta yung pastoral leader niya. No? Parang nauna pa ata sa bombero. Anyway, dumating. Tapos nagulat siya. After like a few days, people started helping them out. And nung narami sa kwento, pinakain sila, pinautang sila, maraming haba ng kwento niya. Ang pinaka-punchline niya, brothers, sabi niya, brothers, magkakapatid talaga tayo. Sabi niya, bro, thank you dun sa t-shirt. T-shirt mo to. Bro, thank you. Pantalon mo to. Sabi ko, hanggang dyan na lang. Huwag mo na ituloy. Pero malamang alam namin, lahat ng nasa iyo, amen. But it was like everybody was laughing, smiling, but then all of us began realizing, this is beautiful. When we are able to live out our way of life with such faithfulness and clarity, people will see that this is something good. And I don't even remember exactly the details of all this sharing, but all I remember, I was thanking God for seeing that happening in our community. Brothers and sisters, it's not an accident that your name is Light of the World. It's not an accident. Mindanao is one of the most significant pieces of the region in the Philippines. It's significant in the sense that Mindanao has gone through many challenges. And it is not an accident that there is a community called the Light of the World in Cagayan de Oro. It's not an accident. The tragedies that happened here, the flood, and how many of you helped each other, the challenges of the Muslim conflicts and how you live that kind of challenge, the challenge of politics in this region, and the struggles of trying to be a Christian amidst the confusing political landscape and trying to be faithful to each other. It is not an accident that there is a light of the world in Mindanao. You cannot be hidden. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. And if you just live your way of life well, and you love one another as brothers and sisters, give yourself to each other in commitment, and be willing to share the gospel to others, see your good works and give glory to your Father. People will see your good works and they will give glory to your Father. Thank you very much, and I hope that that perspective at least will encourage you